3, 2, 1, and we are live. Alright guys, welcome back to the live stream. Yes, sorry for the delay. Many new viewers around here. I'm always late, this is nothing new, but today especially because I was fiddling around yet again with my USB-C port. I have to use my old camera here today. Actually looks pretty good, I have to say. It is cutting me off a little bit up top. But other than that, let me just adjust this. It's not even half as bad as I expected it to be. Nevertheless, this is why I'm a bit late. Guys, welcome everybody. Today we have a late night, I want to say live stream. 2.5 hours later than usual, but it is still pretty bright out here. Over 40 degrees in the south of France, absolute insanity. I had a phone holder in my car and it just melted. No joke, really crazy stuff. Extremely hot, a lot of bushfires around here. Insanely hot, looks like the end of days. I didn't expect France to be this hot. Last year when I got here it was already the end of summer basically. And then the winter itself was pretty fresh, so I wasn't expecting such hot summers here. Let me tell you, if you ever come to the south of France and you don't like the heat, do not come in June, July or August. It is like the Sahara around here. It's like Africa. Extremely hot. Alright, be that as it may, welcome everybody. Today we're going to do a Q&A yet again. You can ask me basically anything you like to. It doesn't matter if it is religion related, lifestyle related, veganism, carnivore, what have you. You can ask me whatever you like. And I'm going to answer to the best of my abilities. As always, guys, you see it in the chat box. It is pinned. You can clearly read it, I hope. It says donate via Streamlabs. If you click on that link, you can donate via PayPal as little as 99 cents, I believe. And like that, I will definitely see your question and then answer immediately, of course. Other than that, super chats do work as well, but Streamlabs will be prioritized. Thank you very much. Somebody got the memo. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Javid, as always. Javid is one of the biggest supporters of this channel. So, yeah, this is how it works. You just click on the link and then you can post your question like that. I will most definitely see it. Other than that, I always try to answer as many questions as I can, but it is not feasible for me like this. Let me just turn off my phone. And therefore, we definitely prefer the Streamlabs and Super Chat donations like this. You can support the channel. It helps out more than you know. It really does. So thank you very much. Okay, silent mode activated. Fantastic. I see already the chat is full. That is fantastic. Opinion on Judaism. I'm going to answer that later. But first, let me answer the Streamlabs donation by Javid. Thank you very much, Javid. First donation of today. Applause. And he says, Goatis is live too. When he said he doesn't watch you because you don't show up on his feed, but seen your daughter eat raw meat. It's not a daughter, I have a son. Eat raw meat. I think he's lying. He watches you. That might be, I don't know about that. We will never find out what Goatis is doing in his spare time. But nevertheless, it's a son, and I appreciate that people saw that. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, check it out. What my baby eats. And I think I put it in brackets, raw meat, something on those lines. If you Google Bobby's Perspective Baby, you should be able to find that video. And there I showed, yes, my baby boy. At that moment, I think he was maybe 6 to 9 months old, something on those lines. He was eating raw meat already, and to this very day, I give him some cooked meat as well, but he prefers, usually prefers the raw fish, and the steak tartare lately not so much anymore. It seems he just got used to it so much that he doesn't enjoy it. And today, for example, he wanted, how do you call it, air-fried chicken, basically. air-fried chicken legs. He likes that. So no matter what he wants to eat, basically I give it to him, as long as it is healthy food. But yeah, I definitely feed my kid raw meat. Anyways, Javid, thank you very much, man. I don't know what he watches or doesn't watch. Okay. I am your bro. Okay. Okay, bro. Posts, hi Bobby, what is your... Look at this, guys. This is insanity. Do you see this?
My special nickname is the Google Assistant. Do you want a special nickname for yourself?
Call me Bobby.
Okay, but first you'll have to unlock your device.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Thank you very much. Wow, this thing just went off. Just listening to me. What did I say? I didn't say okay Google. Anyhow, let's get back to the live stream. Not creepy at all, being listened to at all times here. All good. Bro, where was the question? Let me scroll back. As I said, guys, I'm gonna try to answer as many questions as I can, but super chats, Streamlabs donations will be prioritized. Like this, I will be able to answer your questions and you can support the stream at the same time. So I think that's a fair deal. Thank you very much. See, now I have to search for the question. I can't see it anymore. So much incoming here. Where is it? Okay. Can't find it anymore. It was somewhat about my theological position, the way that I remember it. If I subscribe to Tawhid or Trinity, and if you ask me about those two concepts, then needless to say, as I said, it is Tawhid, hands down. I do not subscribe to the Trinity. Okay. Anyhow. Marco Castillo, welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for subscribing. That's very interesting as well. I said on my last live stream, I'm not too sure that I embedded it already in my videos, but 70% of my viewers are not even subscribed. That is mind-blowing to me. I mean, it's interesting to see that at least new people see this channel. Nevertheless, 70% that actively watch my videos are not subscribed. So therefore, guys, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna put on my fan. It's too hot here. Please let me know if it messes too much with the mic. I hope not. Let me put it like this. Yes. Boomer Bobby in full effect, man. I hope in my next flat we're gonna have an AC so you don't have to deal with this. Please let me know if it is too bad on the mic, and if so, then I will have to sweat for you guys. Come to Telegram. Yeah, absolutely. It is in the description box as well. You can join my Telegram chat for free. Why do you think it's so hot in Europe unlike 5 to 10 years ago? Global warming, probably. It's sarcasm. When are you going to podcast? I assume this is... See, welcome to the channel, Hassan. You're probably asking about One Message Foundation and... What's his name again? Sheikh Utman Ibn Farouk, I think. Based Iranian subscribe. Welcome to the channel, Based Iranian. Thank you very much for subscribing, everybody. I appreciate it. Exactly, Sheikh Utman. Yeah, so as I was saying, I am preparing certain questions because I want this interview, podcast, call it what you will, to be interesting to all viewer bases. So my own viewer base, their viewer base, right, and everybody else that joins in. I think it would be of much more value if I have certain questions prepared, especially, welcome everybody, fantastic. Whilst you're at it, you're doing a fantastic job. You can leave me a thumbs up as well, guys. That'd be great. That helps the algorithm as well. Every time you like videos, share videos, it just helps the algorithm. Thank you very much, Ari. It helps the algorithm, as I said, just by liking it or commenting, for example. No matter what it is, you can just comment blah if you like to, or hi Bobby, and that already helps. So thank you very much. Anyways, let me just jump back to the super chat then. Thank you very much, Ari. I would love for you to react to this video in the future. It's really eye-opening and shows Islam is the one true religion of Allah. Says Ari for $10. Thank you very much, Ari. Let me scroll down. Is it okay with the fan, guys? Or is it too much in the background? I hope it's not interfering too much. Anyways, Ari, let me just check this out real quick. I'm gonna save it in my playlist, promised, and I'm gonna react to it as well, because it comes through super chat, so therefore I have to, basically, it's my obligation. Signs of the Last Day, Miracles of Muhammad. Yeah, absolutely, sounds awesome. I'm gonna save that to my reaction list. Alright, saved, and God willing, soon I should react to Signs of the Last Day, Miracles of Muhammad. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ari. I appreciate the support, bro, and looking forward to the video. On that note, we had an offline donation as well by Agathen Alchemy, a YouTube video as well. Hey Bobby, check out the first section of this video. It stops at 23 minutes in. No need to react, I just feel like the message will resonate with you wholly. God bless you and your family. Thank you very much, Agathen Alchemy. I appreciate it. $10. And yes, absolutely, I will watch that video. Thank you so much. Alright. You love my beard. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It doesn't take much effort, to be honest. You just don't shave, basically. It's kind of easy. Bobby, do you like calisthenics? No, I personally don't do calisthenics. I'm too lazy for that. I just do jiu-jitsu and lifting weights, basically. Yeah. But it is enjoyable to see that people can do it. But I personally am not really into it. Okay. I think Bobby removed his sub count, so we can't see how many have unsubscribed lately. To be honest, the biggest unsubscribe wave that I got was, let me think, I think after veganism at first, but then it reversed. Yeah, something like that. But I haven't shown my sub count essentially since the days of veganism, so I think that it wasn't active in 4 years or so. But I will activate it on that note very, very soon. Because for now, I kept it offline because I personally didn't want to be reminded. But then the YouTube studio changed as well, and now it's in my face anyways all the time. So therefore, I'm gonna activate it. I have very little subscribers anyways, so it's like 12, 13, something on those lines. Maybe 20, if I get lucky. Pure Tawhid is in the Sunnah. It's in the Quran as well, right? That's what it's about, to be honest. Anyways, let me just get back to the podcast that we were talking about. Yeah, Sheikh Utman. Ultimately, I want to prepare some questions, so it's more interesting to watch. I don't know what they have in mind, so maybe they want to ask me about my journey from Christianity into actually reading the Quran, etc., etc. I think that might be interesting, but is still kind of limited. It would be much more engaging if I can ask them specific questions, and for that I want to be prepared. So yeah, like that it would be much more enjoyable to watch for everybody. And once I have those questions ready, God willing, we will see. I can essentially podcast whenever. So thoughts on Judaism. I mean, ultimately it is a monotheistic religion. We have to separate, of course, between Judaism, Talmudic Judaism, Zionism itself. So I'm obviously against Zionism, the political stance. At the same time, and I want to clarify this for YouTube as well here, Zionism doesn't mean that you're automatically Jewish. Actually, most Christians are Zionist. So it's quite interesting, because they believe that the Jewish population needs their Holy Land in Israel. That's the evangelical talk, in America especially. and therefore Zionism is something that I am opposing, obviously. But Judaism in itself, as a monotheistic religion, yeah, that's what it is, right? They, of course, deny Jesus, which I personally cannot do. I'm still identified as a Christian, but what I like, or rather love, about Islam is that it puts everything into a clear, straight line, essentially, and attributes praise to all the prophets, of course, respects all the prophets, and therefore respects Jesus as well. Jews, on the other hand, do not do that, right? They see him as a false messiah, etc., and therefore that is something that I cannot agree with. I had a online buddy, if you will, that converted to Christian Orthodoxy, but then after a while didn't align with doctrine and left that for some sort of Judaism, because ultimately, in his mind, it didn't make sense that Jesus or Muhammad were prophets, and so he became a Jew. Quite interesting. Okay, anyhow, I personally couldn't accept it for those reasons. React to Jesus' crucifixion by Ahmed Deedat. I just reacted to another Ahmed Deedat video to who was the creator of Christianity. So the whole video about Paul or Jesus. That should be an interesting one. Hey Bobby, react to NASA. Confirm that Islam is the correct religion. If that is really true, then I would say that Islam must be false, because I personally do not believe anything that comes from NASA, I have to say. It's not a mock against Islam, don't get me wrong, it's a mock against NASA. For me, they're a CGI studio. I don't trust anything that comes from them. What's your background? My parents are from Northern Macedonia. I grew up in Germany and religiously Christian Orthodox. Have you ever looked into the Hebrew roots movement, who follows Torah and follows Jesus as a Messiah? The only thing, and I can't say that I really followed it, but learned a little bit about, was Messianic Judaism. So that's kind of similar. Nasa in Hebrew means to deceive. Yeah, that would make perfect sense. Let me just adjust my mic real quick. Let me know again, guys, because I can hear the fan myself. Please let me know if it is too strong. Do you hear this chopping? Or is it just me? Because I need this fan, it is way too hot in here, but if it's too bad for the mic, I will turn it off and sweat. But please let me know if it is alright like this, or if I have to turn it off. For now, I'm gonna put a filter on, noise suppression. I think this is better, right? Let me know if this is better for you guys. Man, so many questions. Thank you very much. Ah, Saya, good to see you. Applause for Saya. Nice to see you again. $20, generous, thank you very much. She says, hi, how's the family? Fantastic, thank God. My little one was crying just a minute ago, but now mommy put him to sleep. At least so it seems. So yeah, he's growing. He's already, what is he now? 1 year and 3 months almost. Yeah, almost 3 months. Exactly. So yeah, he's growing well, thank God. Eating well. Very, very active kid. Extremely active kid. Slowly but surely we're getting more sleep yet again. But you can see here, not enough. But nevertheless, everything is well. Everything is alright. I'm very, very glad. And I'm looking forward to more of the same kind. So hopefully some more kids in the near future, God willing. Anyways, thank you very much. God bless you and your family as well. I saw on Instagram a couple of pictures of your little one. Really, really cute. Really, really cute. 1 second, guys. Okay. I think that's better. Okay, thank you again, guys. Thank you again, Saya. I appreciate it. So as I was saying, guys, So many questions, so much activity in the chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But it's impossible for me to answer all the questions. So, super chats as little as $1 you can send through, and I can respond to them. Other than that, today, let us check out my Telegram a little bit. I posted so much stuff lately that we can watch together. Definitely some interesting things that we can watch here. I'm not going to go into articles too much, maybe a little bit. Just a few months back I used to do like a little weekly report here, and I think that you guys liked it quite a lot. But with all the striking lately, I have to lay low, and therefore we're doing Q&As, basically keeping it family friendly around here, or rather YouTube friendly. So therefore I cannot show you the outrageous stuff, unfortunately, because we don't want to risk getting deleted completely off YouTube. Bobby, what do you think about Jordan Peterson's message to Muslims? I found it kind of funny and ridiculous at the same time, to be totally honest, because Jordan Peterson putting himself in the position as if he knows everything about Islam and its problems, and then clarifying it. Hey, follow me, guys. Hey, Shias and Sunnis, get along. Yeah, very strange. Very, very strange. How do I join your Telegram? You can just click on the description box here under this video, just this little arrow, and then you will see a link to my Telegram, and then you click on the link. That's it. Then you're in. Then you can write something there as well, so we actually see you, and that's all. What do you think that Christians say all babies are born sinners? Yeah, that is a long subject, man. I might do a separate video on that. Okay, anyways, let me just open up my Telegram here. Hopefully this will work out. Just a second. Like this. Inception. Welcome to the Matrix. Fantastic. Okay. Is this big enough? I hope so. A lot of smileys here. Cool. Okay. Yeah, this is what inspired the video, essentially. The video on the watermelon tuna. Vegans, 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 man. I haven't observed your ways for a while, and now you're making tuna, quote-unquote, out of watermelon. What is up with you guys, man? Anyways, okay, let me just minimize my matrix inception here. Here we go. Like this. Fantastico. Okay, let's read this out. In liberal America, I believe, Zariah Gray, 28, has been denied sterilization procedures. That's how they call it. If you... Can I even say this here on this channel? Probably not anymore. If you do a certain thing to the baby, right? Sterilization procedures for several years now, but now feels real fear of not having control over their body and future since Roe was overturned. So Roe was overturned, and with that abortion becomes illegal in many states in America, which is fantastic. Zariah Gray, 28, wants to get sterilized, even though their partner already has had a vasectomy. Congratulations. Gray, who uses they-them pronouns, obviously, lives in Columbus, Ohio, with Lucas Killian, 27, growing up as the eldest... Thank you very much, gonna read out in a second. Growing up as the eldest of 5 siblings, living below the poverty line, Gray knew they did not want children from an early age. It's really fascinating to see how all of those isms go hand in hand. So liberalism, feminism, they, them, LGBT-ism, and of course the abortionism. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, guys. Let me open this up here. It's interesting how it goes hand in hand, isn't it? And those people ultimately, if you really think about it, they will get what they deserve. Because I'm not a Darwinist, but I do subscribe to a certain extent to survival of the fittest, because we do see that pattern in nature. And ultimately, if you want to weed your genes out of existence by sterilizing yourself, then you're literally getting what you deserve. You're so stupid that you didn't even understand the name of the game. This government, this system, this society, your surroundings have convinced you that the most natural, God-given urge to procreate, to create children, is wrong. And therefore you mutilate your body, you sterilize yourself, so you're not able to create children. And the Bible says, be fruitful and multiply. And you're not going to go after that. So yet again, even if you're not a believer in God, even though from there all your problems stem, but you just simply believe in evolution, Darwinism, biology, physics, whatever, even then you failed completely. Because you would understand that you are going against evolution then, right? You're just stopping evolution right there by sterilizing yourself. Do you understand how stupid that is? That is the epitome of stupidity. You couldn't be more stupid. Honestly, we are all ignorant to an extent, and we're all going to do stupid things in this life. We learn, that's just what it is. But to literally take your genes out of the gene pool by mutilating your body is the most stupid thing you could ever dream about, let alone do to yourself. Wow. Anyways, Akron super chatted to 79 Canadian dollars. Thank you very much, Akron. Let me see if there was a sticker or something. No sticker, no question. Nevertheless, thank you very much. I always say, if you super chat, attach a question so we can answer it. Ah, here he is. Akron says, oops, forget to send the message. Send it now, man. I'm gonna try to find it. How do I send a super chat? You just did. Akron. Ah, there it is. Fantastic. You don't have to send another super chat, bro. Thank you very much. For one is sufficient. I see your question. He says, Bobby, what strains of mushrooms have you tried? Have you ever tried wavy caps? What was your favorite? No, I have never tried wavy caps, if that is a specific strain, but I had mushrooms with wavy caps. So anyways, because this YouTube, yet again, I have to say that this is not any advice, alright? This is just what I did. Please do not do it. This is not medical advice. I'm just sharing my perspective, my past. Very, very evil and bad. Never try it, okay? So it's just my own stupidity. Anyhow, my favorite strain has to be Ecuadorian, followed by B positive. And number 3 has to be Mazatepec, the Mexican one. I did like the Golden Teacher as well. And the McKenna, which is obviously based on Terence McKenna. McKenna. And that was basically it, I would say. Those are my favorites. But ultimate one was the Ecuadorian, the real Ecuadorians. I have to say, however, that in later years, I noticed that I couldn't get those original pure breed Ecuadorians anymore, and they all seemed like hybrids. So if you can get pure breed Ecuadorians, those were my personal favorites, and the B positive were extremely, extremely beneficial as well. But I couldn't find them anymore after that. But those were my favorite strains, man. Wavy caps, never heard of them. Thank you very much for the donation, brother. I appreciate it. And yet again, much more unfortunately I cannot say here. Maybe soon, it seems to get legalized, so maybe soon we can talk about it more open. I know that on other channels they do speak about it much more openly and they get away with it, but at the same time I've seen certain channels that make political statements that I simply cannot make. If I make a certain political statement here, I get deleted right away. And I've seen bigger channels, be it Russell Brand, for example, that can talk about all of those topics and not face any criticism, demonetization, shadow banning, etc., etc. Anyways, welcome to the channel, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. Let me see. FZ the Messiah. $10. Thank you very much. I surely butchered that. $10. Did you watch Jordan Peterson's message to Muslims? And if you did, what are your thoughts? Love your content. God bless. May God bless you too. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just said that a few minutes back. I found it extremely ridiculous, to be honest. Who are you? Diplomat King Solomon Peterson? I found it so ridiculous to see that Jordan Peterson essentially put himself into the position of clarifying alleged issues of the Muslims. Hey, Muslims, hey! Thank you very much. Gendaria, I'll read it all in a second. Hey, you Sunnis and Shias, I'm Jordan Peterson. Stop fighting already. And how about you're nice to the Jews? What? Totally ridiculous. So from what I learned about the history of Islam and Jews, essentially, there would be no Judaism without Islam. The Jewry wouldn't exist without Islam. I think that's a real quote. So yeah, ultimately he cherry-picked certain alleged issues and then presented himself as the savior of the Muslims that will lead them to the promised land. Extremely ridiculous. So I will say from the little studies that I've done on Islam, it has been over a year now, but still, if I compare this to actual scholars, etc., I know nothing, basically, right? I know about the core doctrine of Tawheed, Fitra, etc. There are certain things I know, but yeah, it's nothing. I just scratched the surface. Nevertheless, I invested 1 year of my time, and I thought that Jordan Peterson, after getting in touch with certain Islamic celebrities, if you will know a bit more. And if there would be a message to the Muslims, there would be a message of appreciation or God knows what. However, he puts himself into the position where he corrects the Muslims and tells them what they do wrong. Very strange, very strange. Nevertheless, I do think that he had good intentions by doing that, but yeah, extreme superiority, intellectual complex. That's what I think. Thank you very much. Should I read it again? FZ the Amaziah. Something like that. Thank you very much, bro. Said Metishe. $5. Thank you very much, Said. Every time I hear the name Said, I have to think about the series Lost. Said the Torturer. Do you know that series? Lost. I'm somewhat of a boomer, but when it came out, it was really, really cool. Hi Bobby, I have been enjoying the videos a lot lately, and I like that you take the time to give your opinion and a genuine reaction. I just want to suggest a really beautiful hadith story, video, a talk between Musa, alayhi salam, I think you say, right, and Allah, that I cannot pronounce. Powerful. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna save it to my playlist, and I'm gonna check it out, and I might react to it. So thank you very much, man. And thank you very much for your kind words when it comes down to my genuine reactions. I always keep it honest, open, and transparent here because I believe that if we want to learn about something, we cannot sugarcoat, that's the right term, sugarcoat, and try to please people, but we have to give our honest opinions. Moreover, I said it before as well, once I started doing those reactions, I realized it's nothing new, as always, but other people have been doing it already, and I noticed that those people don't really react at all. So they start the video, watch the video, nod their head, and then at the end of the video they will say a few nice things. Oh, so emotional, wow. And then turn off the video. So yeah, that's not how I do it. If you look back, no matter what I used to react to, be it veganism, oh my son, hey, is playing with a broomstick, dangerous. So yeah, if it was vegan reactions, if it was political reactions, whatever it may be, I always stop the video and I react to the video and give you my honest opinion. That's how I do reactions. So therefore it was quite interesting because then when I read the Quran, Muslims came over to my channel and said I should react to those videos. And I already had a format of reaction. So as I said, if you go back and you see my vegan reactions, they're exactly the same basically. I watch, react, stop the video. And that's how it stays entertaining, I guess. Because I personally, if I click on a reaction video, I want to see a genuine reaction. I don't want to watch the same video. Then I would just click on that video. And that, by the way, is intellectual theft, if you will. Because there is a fair use way within the YouTube guidelines where you can use certain material on YouTube for reactions. But if you just play their video, then the people don't have to go to their channel and you're stealing clicks, essentially. So, yeah, I don't like that. When are you going to react to some Jewish content? I want to react to some Islamic content first. and Christian content at the moment before we dive into Judaism. And then ultimately, as I said, I would really like to compare Hinduism, Buddhism one more time. Not because I'm interested in the theology as such, because I want to convert. I've been through it. I've been through Buddhism and Hinduism. And now I just would like to have a review about that content and how it stands in comparison to Christianity, to Islam, etc. Yeah. Okay. Now, another super chat by Ganderia 007 has super chat $2. Thank you very much. What is your favorite verse from the Quran? First thing that comes to mind is Allah guides who he wills. Another one is Allah's pattern is never changing. I don't know exactly which verse that is, but those verses just never left my mind because they're so powerful. Yeah. If you look into the world, this is really what you see, right? I mean, people end up on the street, people end up addicted to drugs, people end up in prostitution and whatnot. And all of it happens by the grace of God or the lack thereof, by the guidance of God or the lack thereof. And it's quite fascinating for me to see. So I believe that this is something that will remind us every single time to be very grateful, because I know it sounds a bit corny, but nevertheless, oftentimes you might think, oh, my situation isn't that great. Yeah, there's always worse, right? There's definitely always worse. So you had a warm meal today. You can watch YouTube, yeah, okay. You still have your feet, your hands. You definitely have a pretty good life in comparison to many, many others. And at the same time, there's nothing of greater benefit to you than being guided, ultimately. And it's quite interesting. So Allah guides who he wills was, for me, just mind-blowing, because I see that some people are not guided at all and they just don't see it. As I just showed you, there are some people that sterilize themselves, so obviously they're not guided. And that is, to me, just shocking. Very, very shocking. And, if you will, instills the fear of God in me, because if he decides to not guide you, you're basically lost. You will have eyes, but you won't see. That's a scary, scary thought, to be misguided. Yeah. So that is one, and the other one is, as I said, Allah's pattern is never changing, because Allah is never changing, God is never changing, He's eternal, and therefore His message, His ways, His pattern never changes. And I think that we can see this pattern throughout life, right? If you observe life, if you observe nature, we can see that pattern that is actually never changing. It seems different, everything we see seems different, but essentially it comes from God, He created it, and His pattern is never changing. The rules behind the game. Very interesting. Bobby, what are your inferiorities? What do you mean exactly with inferiorities? What am I inferior in? I have none. Zero. Absolutely perfectly created. I will super chat you when I travel to the UK in 2 months. Okay, Saad. I'm looking forward to it, man. Thank you very much. No worries. I said it before, guys. If you can super chat, it's totally fine. I'm trying to respond to as many questions as I can, but it's impossible, first and foremost, and secondly, you support the channel if you do. So, I don't want to whine about it, but it's quite interesting. My last, I think, 3 or so Islamic reaction videos, they have been either demonetized or the RPM. The RPM is essentially like measurement of how you earn per minute watched or whatever on YouTube, and they reduced it so far that I'm earning 5 times as little as I used to. So now lately I've been creating some good views, but at the same time I'm earning less now. So this is how much YouTube loves Islam. Thank you very much, YouTube. Interesting to see for me as well, now that I'm creating reaction videos to Islam. I'm making less money for more clicks. Nice. Very nice. But of course, people still will tell me that I'm doing it just for the money, etc, etc. That's cool. Okay, anyways, I cannot read Arabic, but thank you very much for the super chat, for the £2. Can you react to Mercy Islamic Halal Slaughter? Yeah, I already watched that video years ago, a little bit of it, and I wanted to re-watch it one more time. So I'm definitely going to react to it, God willing, very, very soon, for sure. I want to put it into a Christian, Islamic, but a vegan context as well, because it's so interesting for the vegans to see this type of slaughter. Super interesting. So yeah, thank you very much for the super chat, and God willing, I will absolutely react to that video. Okay, let's proceed. As an Orthodox Christian yourself, would you advise me to marry an Orthodox girl as a Muslim? What are your thoughts on this? I mean, that depends. Did you meet an Orthodox girl? Is that it? And therefore you want to marry her? I would say that ultimately it would be better for anybody within their religion to have a partner of the same religion. It's just easier, especially if you're practicing. So if both don't really care about the religion, okay, it's not a good basis to begin with, but then it wouldn't be so important. However, if you are very identified with the religion and the woman is not so much, then it's problematic. And if she is extremely identified with her Orthodox theology and you're extremely identified with your Islamic theology, that can be an issue as well. Islamically speaking, you can marry her and she doesn't have to convert. I know that as well. You can marry Christians and Jews, but ultimately, especially if you get older, you might have certain preferences. For example, you will like her to wear a hijab, for example, and she probably won't do it. So that can lead to friction, then the education of children, etc., etc. So I would say that Orthodox Christians are a good pick in itself, but it depends on you and how you would deal with those discrepancies. And that can always lead to certain friction. So this is something that you have to keep in mind, no matter if she is Christian Orthodox or Jewish. How old are you, Bobby? Too old, bro. 35. My question is, did you know that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is mentioned by name in the original Hebrew Bible? I can give you the proof right now if you want. I heard about that and I believe I already saved a video about it in my reaction list. Must be. Should be. So therefore I'm going to react to that. So don't send it now. I don't want it to get spoiled. I heard certain claims about that. I heard, however, on Blogging Theology, which is well respected among Muslims, and Paul himself said that he doesn't subscribe to the idea that the name of Muhammad is found within the Bible, but nevertheless I would have to see it for myself. Purple Cat says, this channel is awesome. New subscriber. Thank you very much, Purple Cat, and welcome to the channel. What do you mean by inferiorities, Miss Dawood? Amazing. How do you develop that mentality? So that is to my answer, right? That I don't have inferiorities. Yeah, I just see it very, very simple. I mean, I'm created by God. God wanted me exactly like this. And therefore, it's all perfect. Even in the Quran, right, it says that Allah creates perfectly, so therefore we're all perfect. Why would I think about my inferiorities? And that is not to have a huge ego or anything. We all have certain shortcomings, quote-unquote, but I just see them as challenges and I work on them. So if I'm whatever, if I suck at certain things at martial arts, for example, I train them. If I am too chubby, then I diet. If I'm too skinny, then I put on mass. I just see certain things in life that you then solve. So I don't see that as inferiorities at all. We're all created perfect. Bobby, what's your favorite steak restaurant? Poof, very hard to say, man. When I came to France, the first time 3 years ago, I went to, I'm gonna butcher this, Hippopotamus? Yeah, something like that. Hippo. And that entrecôte and the tartare were fantastic. But then just half a year ago or so, we went back there and it was absolutely terrible. So since then, I can't really say that we have a specific restaurant around here that I could name as my favorite steak restaurant. Yeah. I've been to the Outback steak restaurant, but all of those are chains. So I really can't say that I have a favorite steak restaurant, unfortunately. Is your girlfriend / wife? She's my wife. I don't have a girlfriend. Christian. Yes, she is. Yeah, guys, I'm getting the same questions here about Zionism, about Jordan Peterson, etc. I answered all of them just a few minutes back. So you can rewatch this. What are your views on atheism? I find atheism very irrational, essentially. And very, very faith-based. Because ultimately, I know that atheists do not want to see it that way, but ultimately it is faith-based if you believe the certain narrative that is presented to you by the current status of science. That is extremely faith-based and extremely ridiculous to me personally, because I will accept that there was a Big Bang. Okay, I will accept that nothing created everything. Okay, so essentially atheism, and I'm not saying that all atheists like that, but majorly, predominantly speaking, atheism subscribe to the idea that reality can only be understood through the scientific method. Why? Ultimately, they discard theology and philosophy. They do not take philosophy as some sort of tool that can be used in order to deduct truths at all. So they do not accept that. They will accept certain research papers that are created by men, but they won't accept revelation. Right? They will just discard that as well. Well, it's not evidence, it's just that. So my point of the story is that even if we logically conduce that based on science, based on atheism, everything in this universe follows cause and effect. There has been a cause. The cause was my parents had a romantic get-together, and the effect was that I was born. If you go back, the same happened for them, the same happened for my grandparents, and you go back and back and back and back and rewind everything that has ever happened. And then ultimately you will end up at, scientifically speaking, thank you so much, Saverio. I'll read out in a second. If you rewind that back long enough, scientifically speaking, you will end up at the Big Bang, scientifically speaking. So they will say that the Big Bang was the first cause, essentially, and the effect is the visible universe right now. Okay, but what created the Big Bang? They will say we don't know, so ultimately atheism is then not really atheistic, but agnostic, if they would say that they really don't know. I personally subscribe to the idea that there has to be a supreme, uncreated being that created the universe, that created, if you will, the Big Bang, even though I don't subscribe to the Big Bang either, but it doesn't matter. So now they will ask the question, if there is a creator, there must be another creator that created that creator. Thank you very much, Garth and Alchemy. This time I said it right. I'm going to read out in a second. Thank you everybody for the humongous support. I appreciate it. So as I was saying, ultimately, they will say who created the creator? And who created that creator? And who created that creator? So ultimately you get back into another cause and effect loop that simply never ends. It's just endless, infinite, creator created a creator, created a creator, created a creator. So to stop that loop, you would need an uncreated being. So now, of course, you can have questions. What does it mean to be uncreated? What does it mean to be timeless? Even Albert Einstein said that time is relative, which means we are kind of bound to this illusion of time, but ultimately God exists in a space of no time and no space. So it's not even space. And therefore, in a state of uncreatedness, eternal uncreatedness, that is creating, which is mind-boggling by itself. But anyhow, I find that argument compelling, let's say. Atheists, yet again, want to see scientific proof then for that creator that is metaphysical, essentially, and cannot be measured with our physical instruments. They still want to see a scientific proof, and you're giving a philosophical, theological proof, but that won't be accepted as a proof. And that is all fine, all of this said, because ultimately it will lead to suffering. So if you live a life without a creator, without a supreme being, then you will have a false hierarchy, ultimately, because that's just how we are. You cannot deny that. Everybody will agree that we as humans have certain hierarchies, all of us. Follow the leader, this is my daddy, this is my mommy, this is my teacher, this is my boss, etc., etc. Here's the policeman, this is a politician. We're following certain hierarchies, and then we have interests and investments that are of utmost importance to us. So, for example, when I was 20, bodybuilding was my god, basically. That was all I was thinking about, just worshipping the iron. And this is what will happen. Ultimately, then you get injured, and then your god dies, right? That mental construct. And this is why I always say, idolatry, it's not only about bowing down to statues, right, and creating icons, etc. The real idolatry happens in the heart, happens in the mind, because you can see certain things of this world, the Muslims call it dunya, of this world greater than God. And the reality is nothing is greater than God. Absolutely nothing. Nothing that you see here in this world will be greater than God. Not your problems either, not your ego either. It's impossible, right? So you're crying about losing your job, for example. In your mind, losing your job is greater than God, right? Or you're chasing money. Okay, cool. Money is cool. It's awesome. But money is not greater than God. It's nothing, essentially. But you're worshipping that money mentally. And this is why it is so important to really submit your will to God, not just by saying it. Yeah, I'm submitting my will to God. No, you're not. If anything in your mind is more important than God. And that is what I personally strive to be. I personally strive to be in a state where I consistently remember God and consistently just appreciate the greatness of God and fully realize, actualize, there's literally nothing greater than God. No matter what it is. Not the person that took you over in traffic, not the girlfriend that broke up with you, not the money that you lost. None of those things is greater than God, nor is it of any real impact to you, because you're not taking any of that with you into the afterlife. Yeah, so rant over, I guess. Anyways, we had some super chats. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Let me scroll up. By Saverio, $10. Thank you so much, Saverio. Let me give you guys an applause and to drink something. Merci beaucoup. Hvala lijepo. Dankeschön. Thank you. Gracias. Teşekkürler. Okay, alright, Bobby. Love the channel and your vegan reaction videos. Thank you very much, bro. More to come, God willing, yet again. Only if you guys post vegans to react to. Otherwise, I can't see those faces anymore. I was an ethical vegan for 7 years, and now I'm eating meat once again, due to in large part to your influence. Would you consider doing another What I Eat in a Day? Thanks, brother. So first and foremost, God bless you and congratulations on reclaiming your health. That is fantastic to hear. Always happy to hear, especially when long-term vegans snap out of it. Oftentimes we think that it's too late for them to snap out of it, but here we see that somebody after 7 years still snapped out of it. That's absolutely beautiful. Happy that you're eating meat. Try to eat raw meat as well. It will give you a lot of bioavailable B vitamins, and that's super important. Let me just adjust my fan here. Hot. Super hot. Oh, so hot in here. Unbelievable. So you asked if I would consider doing another What I Eat in a Day video. Absolutely, I would. But that being said, I'm moving very soon. And I'm going to visit the Balkans, visit Germany, so it's going to be very, very busy. And then I'm not disclosing the destination just yet, but once, yet again, God willing, I settle there, I will do a What I Eat in a Day video, which should be much more exciting than those surroundings here. So, yeah, look forward to that. Should be really, really cool. And other than that, I have to repeat it one more time for the vegans. Thank you very much. Gonna read it out in a second. I know that you guys think I hate you. I know that you guys think I'm some sort of online bully and blah blah, and I'm dumb and I'm bold and I don't know anything and I did it wrong, etc., etc. That's all cool. It's all fantastic. The reality is I was a ethical vegan myself for 4 years, not like Saverio here for 7 years, thank God. And I did it for the animals. And this is why to the very last day I clung onto veganism. My teeth were rotting out. My digestion was so wrecked that I was going to the toilet 16 times per day. I was depressed. I was anxious. I had no libido left. I was fatigued, muscle cramps, spasms everywhere. I was basically living dead, just dying consistently. And I didn't want to quit veganism, but once I did, all my problems dissolved basically. However, to this very day, I can say that I've taken some irreparable damage apparently. Only God knows, maybe one day even that will be resolved, but to this very day I can see that I still do not tolerate some foods that I tolerated just fantastically prior to veganism. The point of the story is we are not herbivores. No matter how hyped up you are, you're on the hype train right now, you have your new religion, you want to cling on to it. It is a farce, it is a lie, it is fake. Don't do it to yourself, don't do it to your loved ones. It is unnecessary, it is not more vegan to eat vegan. You will still kill animals. It is much better to be carnivore, grass-fed, if you really want to save animals. Simply don't destroy your life. Alright? This comes from love. I really mean this. I don't want anybody to suffer on that malnutrition. Anyway, Saverio, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. A quick applause again for everybody here. Agarth and Alchemy, thank you again for the $2. Appreciate it. Have you watched the 3 Muslims Jinn series playlist? No. It's really good. I hope you caught my offline donation last week. I read it out here, brother. I just read it out. So you just tuned in so you didn't see it. I read it out and I thank you as well. Only $10. Sorry it wasn't much. Nah, man. Thank you very much. $10 is generous. I appreciate it. I felt compelled to share that video with you. What Life is All About by Dr. Rashad Khalifa. God bless you. Thank you very much, man. As I said, I read out your donation already. I think now half an hour ago, maybe 40 minutes ago. And I saved that video to my playlist and I will definitely watch it. So thank you very much. And please don't apologize for donating $10, man. $10 is great support. Thank you very, very much for that. I really, really appreciate it. And may God bless you too. Once I watch that video, I will talk about it. Thank you. Senju Vinix, Super Chat, €2. Thank you, Senju. Did you react to the recitation of the Quran? No, I haven't yet. No. We're gonna wait a bit and do that at some point for sure. Bobby, how often do you eat watermelon tuna? Bro, every day. With that easy recipe, man. Every day, right? I'm baking it, I'm grilling the watermelon, dehydrating it every day. So good, so good. One second, I see that the super chats are not all being displayed. Kind of strange. Maybe now. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm gonna double check just so I don't miss anything. If I missed anything, please notify me in the chat so I can respond. Okay, so we have... Wait a second, that's strange. I see that some chats are not being displayed here. Yeah, we definitely skipped some chats. Alright, first and foremost, unknown user. $1.99. Thank you very much, unknown user. No question attached. Appreciate it nevertheless. Arabian Princess. $20 Australian. Thank you very much, Arabian Princess. I think that's the biggest donation today, actually. Thank you very much. Extra applause. I appreciate it. She says, Jesus said, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only he who does the will of my Father in heaven. Do you call Jesus your Lord, and do you know what the will of the Father is? So, if I would have to interpret that, and I like that passage, because for me personally, yet again, it clearly displays that Jesus is not God, but the Father is. 1 second. Guys, I'll be right back. My son woke up yet again. Alright. Apologies for the interruption there. My son still doesn't sleep and it's already 9:30 around here. Lately he's extremely active. Anyways, Arabian Princess, back to your super chat. Thank you very much. So ultimately, as I said, for me personally, this passage is very, very clarifying, and it displays yet again that Jesus talks to his Father, which is God in this context, obviously. So therefore, yet again, I simply don't understand, even if you want to take the Trinitarian approach to then say that Jesus and the Father are co-equal, I simply do not see it at all, because it clearly states here that the Father in heaven has his will that shall be done, and Jesus was doing the Father's will. So even that is already totally opposed to a co-equality, but nevertheless. Anyways, the question is, Jesus will say, not everyone who says, Lord, Lord. Essentially, Jesus says that he won't know you, right? And even Islamically speaking, Jesus is the Messiah that will return, and he won't know you if you profess him just by the mouth. You say, hey, I believe in Jesus. I love Jesus. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. I've seen so many people profess that, but do they really follow the Father's will? And ultimately, Jesus himself as well clarified that the law shall not be broken at all, shall not be changed, shall be fulfilled. So this is what this verse is about, in my opinion. Jesus clarifies that only because you call him Lord, you won't inherit the kingdom of God, but you will have to follow God's will. And God's will is, of course, manifested within the law as well. Right? So yeah, that basically is my standpoint on that. Thank you very much, Arabian Princess. I hope I answered your question. Okay, now let me scroll further. Thank you very much again for the super chats, guys. I have to sort them out here. We're receiving super chats over super chats. Thank you so much, but they're mixed up. Computer donated $2. Thank you, Computer. Bobby, I am overweight. Would you recommend veganism? I definitely wouldn't recommend veganism, even though sure you could use it as a fast, but at the same time it's just useless, because on a vegan diet you're eating a bunch of carbohydrates that ultimately will lower your insulin sensitivity, and yeah, it will mess up your insulin, your blood sugar levels. For what? There's absolutely no point in doing that. You will starve yourself if you're eating in a caloric deficit, and you will live off your fat reserves. However, that being said, on a vegan diet you're always hungry, and therefore I can tell you about many fat vegans as well. It's not the best idea. Ultimately, if you're really overweight, the best way to go, hands down, every single time, is a ketogenic diet / carnivore diet. I like that. You're always satiated. You're never hungry. It's so easy to manage calories like that. You can easily just eat 2 big meals per day and just lose your weight. If you, however, can adhere to a really strict bodybuilding diet of rice and chicken, that's fantastic as well for cutting. But like that, you have to be very, very precise. So if you're not really into nutrition and you're overweight, so that means you haven't really done research on nutrition, carnivore diet is so simple, man, and like that you will lose so much weight. It's the easiest go-to method. For everybody that doesn't want to count calories, who doesn't want to go through a certain meal prep, meal planning, it's so easy. The carnivore diet, ketogenic diet, always works for weight loss. And it's not a yo-yo diet either, because if you stick to those nutritionally dense animal foods, it's so easy to adhere to. I will always recommend it, especially for overweight people. Yeah. So definitely not recommended to go vegan, rather go carnivore, for sure. Tim Lochet, $5. Thank you very much, Tim Lochet. Have you heard of Fomenko or David Irving Jr.? No, I haven't. Quran and Arabic being old world language culture. Irving Jr. has 3 books, videos like Quran Against NWO. That's very interesting. No, I haven't heard that. It's interesting though, because there is a guy, and I watched a few videos now, not too many. Sam Gerrans is his name, and he's a Quranist. So he's not a convert, revert, call it what you will, but an Englishman that found the Quran so valuable and essentially, as far as I know, learned Arabic as well and interpreted the message of the Quran as a message. Thank you very much again, Arabian Princess. As a message directed towards the elite, towards the New World Order, essentially. God speaking to the elites. This is how he sees that message, and he sees Muhammad as the messenger of exactly that warning. And he has many, many books written on that. I have a few books here on my Kindle as well. I haven't read them yet. I read a few pages. Very interesting stuff, however. So I could see how those people there would interpret it as well as a warning against the NWO. So definitely gonna look that up. Thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate it, man. Okay. Pink Supremacy, good to see you, brother. Just got back from the gym for my post-workout super anabolic watermelon tuna. Bro, you can't go wrong with that, man. It's protein-packed. Absolutely omega-3 rich. Carnitine, creatine, bomb. Get in there. I'm not booby. Adamuman, $3 Thank you very much, brother. Your opinion on arguments for polytheism. I haven't heard any good arguments for polytheism, to be totally honest. So from the things that I read about certain argumentations, certain pagan / polytheistic argumentations, they were essentially based on that there were different gods and they created different causes that then caused the universe. But yeah, were they all equally strong? If not, if there was a stronger one, then ultimately that god would be God. And in the descriptions of God of polytheists or pagans, I always have the issue that they are very conceptualized. Right? So even if we look into Shiva, Vishnu, Krishna, etc., or even Jesus as God, it's already a conceptualization, it's already a mind construct, right, of something human that is our God, or Buddha, the enlightened one. So ultimately all of those concepts God transcends, and therefore we cannot depict God. So yet again, that brings me back to this whole spiel of idolatry. It's not only that you shouldn't make a picture of God, the reality is you can't. That's the point. So God transcends the pen that you use to draw a picture. And therefore, no matter what you would draw on that paper, that God transcends infinitely, you cannot paint God. You cannot make a depiction. It's impossible. So therefore, the argumentation of polytheism, it's always a bunch of different gods creating different causes, be it Poseidon, Thor, what have you. So I just don't see a good argument for it. Yeah, that's basically my stance on it. You missed computers, super chat. Did I? But I rewind back. I think I got it now, no? Okay, we had another super chat by Arabian Princess for $10. Thank you very much, Arabian Princess. Wait a second. First we had another chat by Agarth and Alchemy. Thank you very much, Agarth and Alchemy, yet again. A Spotify episode. The podcast episode by Quran Talk resonates with what you just talked about. How a lot of us idolize things instead of submitting to God truly, leading to a habitual and materialistic priority list. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna check it out, man. Absolutely. It really is what it is. Ultimately, as humans, we have those priority lists, those hierarchies. We cannot escape them. And every single time we don't place God on top, we put something else on top. And like that, our life will consistently suffer forever. Thank you very much again, Agarth and Alchemy. Appreciate it, bro. Now, Arabian Princess. $10 yet again. For this is the will of my Father, that everybody who looks on the Son and believes in him should have eternal life, and I will raise him up on the last day. Who will raise you up on the last day? Yeah, first, it would be very, very interesting to see who wrote that passage. So let me just Google that real quick. I already kind of know, but I would like to pull this up for everybody to see. Let me see here. 1 second. And then we will talk about it for sure. Listen, Arabian Princess, I know that you are a Christian, quote-unquote, prince, quote-unquote, yet again, fan. You made that clear in the comments section. And I think he calls himself Arabian Prince now, so now you're fanboying out even more, or fangirling out rather. And so therefore you're calling yourself Arabian Princess. I think that the guy is extremely disingenuous and moreover pathetic because he doesn't show his face. So as I said before, this world is getting softer and softer and softer, and now people can't even show their face on the internet. Come on, man. That is so weak. If you really have Jesus on your side, as you claim, you shouldn't be afraid of showing your face. But anyways. 1 second. Let me close this thing down here. So yeah, as I was saying, this is of course John, obviously. So you should be able to see this here. Let me make it bigger. Like this. Just 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. Una secunda. Uno segundo. Okay, here we go. Fantastic. So this is John 6:4. For my Father's will is that everyone who looks to the Son and believes in him shall have eternal life, and I will raise them up at the last day, etc., etc. So first and foremost, John has been written at least 60 years after Jesus' death, if not even longer. It has been written in Greek, a language that Jesus does not speak, did not speak. So therefore, who is John? We don't really know who John is, right? Kind of problematic there. And this basically, if you look into John further, you will see that John is very, very different than the Gospel of Mark or Matthew, for example. And this whole real God description of Jesus is extremely prominent in John. So yeah, my question is, why would I believe John? It's an honest question. Why would I believe John? John never met Jesus, so how can he know that Jesus said that? The earlier Gospels never claim that Jesus said that. So why would I believe John now? Even though even the earliest Gospels are written in Greek. So the Gospels themselves are not written by the disciples of Jesus. Do you understand? So ultimately you have a Greek story written by people, and you have to believe it. That's basically what it is. And that was, I would say, the last nail in the coffin for me personally. So that really destroyed my faith in the Bible, I have to say, as a legitimate document. Because once I found out that the gospel has been written by Greek authors that were not the disciples of Jesus, I mean, that put everything into perspective. Let's put it that way, right? And then when I looked at John, where John describes Jesus, I am the Alpha and the Omega, and we just believe it. Yes, that's it. That must be the truth. Then you find out that John, as the others, have never met Jesus, and moreover, it has been written, decades after Jesus' death. So how can he tell us what Jesus really said? It's extremely unreliable. And that's why when people say, yeah, well, but here in the Bible, it's pretty clear. I always have to ask, okay, who's the author here? It's not only one author. It's many of authors. And John, Paul, etc., excuse my suspicions, but I cannot trust them. Right? Yeah, that's basically it, Arabian Princess. I do not care that John has that opinion and John deifies Jesus. I don't think that Jesus deified himself. And so you ask who will raise me up on the last day. If I get raised up, then that should be God. Yeah. Okay, anyways, let's continue. I hope that answered your question. Arabian Princess, thank you very much for the super chats. Please react to Bob Ross pains Mohammed. Why do, thank you very much, gonna read out in a second. Why do Christians not prostrate in their prayers, even though Jesus and the prophets used to prostrate when they were praying? Actually, it's not absolutely correct, because some do. So when I was on Athos is a island that hasn't been changed for over 1,000 years. It's a monastic island. You can go there only with certain permission. You have to apply for a visa, basically. And down there you have monasteries, you have monks, priests, bishops living in seclusion, essentially. It's like a spiritual jail. No women are allowed. So some people, they're born there, or rather brought there when they were born, orphans, and they've never seen a woman in their life. So very, very interesting life. And yeah, around there I've seen monks prostrate when they pray. So the original Christians did that too. Nowadays they don't anymore. Andrei Czech super chatted 50 Czech krone, I guess. I would assume, I'm not too sure. Thank you very much. Thank you for the videos that you make. I really like your content. Keep working. Thank you very much, brother. I really appreciate that. I'm working hard at the moment. Extremely hard. Uploading every day, basically. Tomorrow we continue. So, God willing. Thank you very much. I'll read out in a second. So yeah, God willing, we will have a video every single day from now on. That's what I'm working on, to keep that schedule. As I said, unfortunately, YouTube lowered my RPM rate, which means now I'm getting less money for more content and for more views. That's really amazing, YouTube. Thank you so much. That's nice. It's a lot of fun working for you, YouTube. I love you, boss. Yeah, anyways, thank you very much, Andre. Now, F4WNZ13 super chatted $4. Thank you very much, bro. We have a coffee cup there. Thank you very much. I'm gonna buy a drink for that for sure. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel, everybody. So yeah, let me give you an applause, everybody. Thank you very much for the donations. Thank you very much for subscribing, everybody. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just saw somebody saying, do not spam. Bobby is very slow at reading. And not only am I very slow, I'm a boomer on top of that. And as I said, I'm not even able to read out every single question of you guys. So if you really want your question answered, super chat, even for $1. So yeah, like that I can answer your question. It can very well be that I'm not gonna read your question at all. Happens. Okay. Bobby, when will you react to the major science video? I still have many videos lined up, so maybe next week, God willing. We will see. What do you think would be the ramification in your life, both work and personal, of becoming Muslim? Work would be no issue. I'm working from home, so no problem at all. Personal, yeah, I mean, my Macedonian family would hate me for it, I guess. And they would think I lost my mind, probably. Traitor. But I already know that because I'm considered a traitor because I disagree with the politics of Macedonia to begin with. So yeah, people would probably think I went insane. Bobby, what is your take on pescatarianism? It's better than vegetarianism, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would never recommend to abstain from any type of food groups that are good for us. Yeah. Bobby, please do a reaction video on Ahmed Didat. I just did, so God willing, 3 days or so should come out. Bobby, have you been attacked a lot for raking? What is raking? For raking an interest in Islam more than the veganism thing? Not necessarily, man. So I got attacked a lot, and you guys are new to the channel, so you didn't see this. This 2 years ago or so now, I took a stance on the ethnical origins of Northern Macedonia. and I displayed the history of Macedonians, quote-unquote, actually being Bulgarians, and I agreed with the Bulgarian politics, etc., etc. Not with all of them, but with plenty of them. And for that I got a lot of death threats, etc., etc. The same for veganism as well, a lot of death threats, blah blah. But vegans are frail, they eat watermelon tuna, so therefore we don't have to be scared. But with Islam, not so much, to be honest. I mean, certain Christians reached out to me, some were kind, some not so much, but it wasn't a big deal for me personally. Maybe because it is already number 4 or 5 of shifts here on this channel. People simply don't understand that this channel is called Bobby's Perspective and not whatever, Christian Orthodox perspective or vegan perspective or Macedonian perspective or whatnot. So it's Bobby's Perspective. I simply report on my findings, on my life, things that I find interesting, and that's literally what it is. So if you like it, awesome, join in, let's have fun together, yay. And if not, then you can leave. It's very, very simple, right? So therefore, yeah, every single time I would change something, it all started with raw veganism. There was a time when I was just eating raw vegetables or raw fruits. And then once I quit that, all the raw vegans, they got frustrated and mad at me. Who cares? But yeah, that was the case. And then I went vegan. Then within the vegan community, people got very angry at me because I was recommending a high-protein vegan diet. And then I quit that altogether and became carnivore. So obviously the vegans freaked out completely. And then it went further, essentially, the spiritual part of my channel. I forgot to mention that. I was talking about mushrooms, psychedelics, ayahuasca. I kind of quit talking about that and I started talking about Christianity. And people got super butthurt as well. Ah, man, you didn't learn anything about the mushrooms. You have to take more mushrooms, man. So they got angry about that as well. Then, as I said, I declared Bulgarian ethnicity, essentially. And the Macedonians got completely outraged, want to kill me, yada, yada, yada. And now we're at a point where I discuss Christianity and its shortcomings out of my personal view. We are exploring Islam here on this channel, and obviously you have, again, a lot of screams and shouts. So, okay, long story short, ultimately I can't really tell you if the hate is less or if I just couldn't care less anymore. Because I realized no matter what you're gonna say, what you're gonna do online, there always are people that just hate you for your opinion. So, which is for me mind-boggling, because if I don't agree with a certain opinion and I still find the content interesting, I will still appreciate the content. And if not, wow, crazy idea, then I will watch something else. But yeah, it's actually good to have haters, because haters, they do create a lot of traffic as well. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that is that. That is the answer to that. Pink supremacy, people gotta be super emotional to get upset over a YouTuber they don't even know switching opinions. Yeah, it's quite interesting, man. And in many ways, it's very telling, because it seems that people don't change their opinions at all. So I always say that our core never changes. I will always be myself. But our findings, our opinions, things that we are ignorant about, we learn about new things. So if that would never change, wow, congratulations, then you're not living at all. If I would have the exact same beliefs that I had when I was 20, then I would have to really, really reconsider. Something must have went wrong there. That's kind of crazy if you still hold the same beliefs. And that's why. So, yeah, on this channel, I'm pretty sure I will upset many people in the future again. I'm very, very certain of that. I just have that type of character, apparently. So no matter how I do it, somebody will get always upset. Or many people will always get upset, no matter what it is. So we will see how that goes. Okay, let me scroll through. Guys, as I said, I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can from the chat as well. Everyone has an opinion, no one has a thought, says Hania, who became a member. Thank you very much for the support, Hania. Yeah, I mean, ultimately we all have our opinions, and as I said, we're all ignorant in many ways, but we should reflect upon our ignorance and understand that ignorance paired with arrogance is the worst state you can be in, essentially. So I'm very ignorant about, let's say, many aspects of Judaism. But then to have a strong opinion about Judaism is arrogance, because I would have to learn more. And if I look back into the time when I was very opinionated about Islam, I realize now, of course, that I was very ignorant, but at the same time very arrogant. Because I thought I know it all. That's a great segue to the next super chat. Thank you very much. Almas611. And he or she says, what are your thoughts on Jehovah's Witness? So from what I know is that the Jehovah's Witnesses are Unitarian, which is yet again kind of funny because I would agree with Unitarianism. At the same time, back in the day, we would just laugh at those Jehovah's Witnesses and laugh it off as something totally stupid, idiotic, and I didn't even know a thing about them, right? I didn't even know that they were part of Christianity or a Christian sect, call it what you will. For me, they were just idiots, right? But now, from what I heard, is that they're Unitarian. However, I would have to look up if they are into Jesus worship, so ultimately Son worship. I would have to look that up. I don't even know. Actually, let me do it right now. Why not? Let's learn together. Jehovah's Witness theology. So Jehovah's Witness believe God is the creator and supreme being. Okay, I agree. Witnesses reject the Trinity doctrine. Cool, I might be a Jehovah's Witness then. Which they consider unscriptural. Me too. They view God as the Father, sure, an invisible spirit person separate from the Son, Jesus Christ. Yeah, fair enough. Now it would be just interesting to see what they mean by son, of course. Is it like Hercules, the son of Zeus? Or is it a metaphorical son, etc., etc.? But yeah, basically, roughly, I see how people would make sense of it. Yet again, for me, Jehovah's Witnesses were absolute cuckoo. Absolute nut jobs, and I didn't know anything about them. So I was extremely ignorant and arrogant. But nowadays, finding out a bit more about them, so they're Unitarians, they're monotheistic in that sense. Okay, not too bad. Anyways, thank you very much, Almas, appreciate it, bro. Ahmed Farhan, and that question dropped into the void. I can't find it anymore. I just saw it there and then it went away. But I saw what the question was about. So he asked me about the saints in Christianity, if I believe those saints. So this is something that I grew up with. We had icons of saints and people would pray to saints rather than to God. Believe it or not. They would take them as intermediaries, essentially. Even Mother Mary, they would see as some sort of saint. In Orthodoxy, it is called the Theotokos, which means the Mother of God. You make of that what you will. Yeah, so people really use those icons, those saints, they pray to the saints, Sveti Nikola, etc., etc. So yeah, personally, I grew up with that, as I said, but I do not believe in saints. I believe that we are all humans, we're all flawed. I don't believe in a human being a saint. And I think that would be a pretty great burden on the human if they would be still living. So to be declared a saint after you're dead, okay, whatever, dude. But to be a saint and still alive, that would be a huge burden. Because you would think of yourself to be holier than thou, and ultimately you're just a flawed human being. So I don't think anybody's up to the task to be a saint. Yeah. But ultimately, yet again, it is essentially a never-ending doctrine with that. Because you would have Jesus as the Son of God within Christianity, sure, as the main character, essentially, even equal to God, co-equal to the Father, all God. And then on top of that, you would have saint after saint after saint in addition to the whole doctrine. And that would basically never end, right? There could always somebody be that can become a saint. yeah. So I personally do not believe in saints. No. I don't think any human is a saint. We all have darkness in us. What are your thoughts on the Gospel of Barnabas? It is not authentic. That's the thing. It has been written in Spain or Italy. It's not authentic. Pink Supremacy says, I'm listening more to my gut than to anybody else in the end. That's the right way to go. I would agree. Okay. That's a good question. Bobby's perspective, did you visit any mosques? No, unfortunately I haven't. I'm in France at the moment and I don't speak French. Nor do I speak Arabic. And the French speakers around here, they really don't speak any English. So it's very, very tough. And the Arabs around here don't speak any English either. So it's very, very tricky for me to get access into a mosque. Of course I could walk in there. But that would be upon good faith. I could try. But my experience here with those French people, man, they don't speak one word of English. And so, yeah, we wouldn't understand each other. I asked and challenged Jordan Peterson on his channel and don't hate him. He also claims to be Christian, yet deny the resurrection as a historical fact. Yeah, I mean, he's a centrist, ultimately. Even with his statement, I'm trying to be a Jew, a Christian, and a Muslim. What does that even mean? So therefore, obviously, he will have to agree with the historians as well. And yeah, there is no historical evidence for the resurrection, and therefore he will have to agree with them then. Anyways, we had another super chat by VY. Thank you very much for the $5. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Pink Supremacy, bro. I'll read out right after this. So VY says, keeps it up, Uncle Bobby. Yes, I'm Uncle Bobby. Love the channel, love learning with you. May the Most High God continue to bless you and your family and everyone else out there in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. We have obviously here an open-minded Christian that likes to learn with me. I like that. I definitely like and appreciate that. So may God bless you and your family too. Thank you for taking along, man. I really appreciate it. Pink Supremacy, $5 as well. Thank you very much, brother. I met a vegan a couple days ago. Cool guy, nice guy. Vegan for 7 years. Looked like a missing front tooth and decaying gums. Yeah, highly likely. Chatted for a while and I suggested your channel. Hopefully you're here watching this dude. If so, go get a steak and enjoy. Applause. I hope so too, man. I really, really hope that vegans will reclaim their health. I said it here previously 1 hour ago or so. I talked about it. I have no hate at all for vegans. I was a vegan myself. I don't hate vegans. I hate the veganism. It is a doctrine that destroys your life. Unfortunately, after so many years, people oftentimes don't even understand how it is to feel good. They don't get it and they think that this is just normal. It's not normal. Veganism is not normal nutrition for the human body. You are living on substitutes all your life. And with that, you will suffer and ultimately destroy your health. Don't do it to yourself. Check out my channel objectively. Have a look. Try to see the red thread that I'm trying to present here. Understand that this is not against you. It is against the ideology. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for the support. Do you read the biography of the Prophet Muhammad yet? Yes, I do. 2 biographies, actually. Jesus prayed to God, yes. May you please react to the warrior Khalid ibn al-Walid. aka the Sword of Allah. Yeah, I heard of him. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I hope I will watch some videos on him in the future, God willing. Bobby, did you eat granulated sugar when you were a fruitarian? What do you think of Durian Rider methods? Yeah, Durian Rider's methods, I said it before, I believe, they're derived from cycling. That's basically what it is. So his diet, his modified diet, works for cyclists. Even when I was very little, man, I think I was 6 years old or so, and my father took me for a bike trip with a colleague of his, and that guy was really into race, into trek, and all that biking. So he came fully equipped, and that was the first time in my life that I've seen such an equipment for biking. I didn't get it. I was wondering really, because I was just sitting there on my bike with my everyday clothes, but this man was, yeah, essentially had a Superman outfit in gay. Anyhow, this man told me that if he goes to certain competitions, he has to eat 2 kilograms of pasta the day before to fill up his glycogen and this and that and yada yada yada. So yeah, nowadays I understand, of course, this is called carb loading. And if you are burning through those carbs as a cyclist, for example, that makes all the sense in the world. So therefore, yeah, Durian Rider used to cycle a lot, and I think he does it still. For that purpose, carbohydrates are great, fantastic, good job, go for it. However, for everyday people, a very, very bad idea to eat so many carbohydrates. Not a good idea at all. And so as a fruitarian, that wasn't my motivation. I wasn't using it to cycle or to do anything aerobic necessarily. I was just lifting weights still with the little strength that was left. And I was eating fruits because I was convinced that this is our species-specific diet, which, spoiler, it is not. But no, I never ate any sugar added to it. I didn't see a point in that, because why would I drink sugar if I can eat fruits instead? Thank you very much. That being said, I was so hungry as a fruitarian anyways, so I would always prefer food. Essentially, I saw Durian Rider drink a Sprite, for example. A Sprite is roughly 33 carbs, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even a bit more. So that would be a big banana or mango, something on those lines. So I'd rather have another piece of fruit than just drinking my calories. I was always very, very hungry. Okay, now another super chat by Pink Supremacy. Again, thank you very much, bro. $1, appreciate it. Did you watch Frankie Boy lately? Looks like the NWO minions are after him. Seriously, he's selling meat in NYC, so I wouldn't be surprised at all. Honestly, I've seen a bit because it has been posted in my Telegram group, so I clicked on it and I just saw him cry. So I didn't get the context completely, so I can't really say too much about it. From what I understood is they're closing down his meat shop. Okay, that's all I know. I personally don't think that the NWO is after him. I don't know, however, exactly what has happened. If he has the real guidelines, is he following the guidelines for quality control, for cleanliness, etc., hygiene? I have no idea. So I can't tell. I don't know why they closed it up or not. But yeah, when I see somebody cry on camera, I know that they have been on YouTube for too long, basically. Not a good idea, man. I would highly recommend to get off YouTube and do something else with your life. I don't think it's good for him. He's a person that tries to be famous with everything he got. So, gay porn, gay movies, etc., etc. He did it all. So I would recommend to stay off YouTube, essentially. I don't believe it's the NWO that's behind him. Or after him, rather. Okay. Hi, what do you eat? Do you eat only meat or fruits and veggies as well? I don't eat vegetables, I eat some fruits. I eat meat and I eat some white rice. Would you ever react to Speaker's Corners videos? They're so long, that's the issue. I might, but they're so extremely long that it's kind of unfeasible to do. Because if I watch a 10-minute video, sometimes my reactions can be up to 30 minutes. Sometimes I go fast through it, 20 minutes. But Speaker's Corner videos, they are sometimes 40 minutes, 1 hour. So the reaction would be 3 hours long. That's why. They do mess with private businesses, though a lot in democratic America. But yeah, you're right about Frankie. He's got some problems, unfortunately. Yeah, let me put it like this. Have you ever experienced this? You see something on YouTube and the person is reacting, is behaving in a way that you haven't seen the person behave prior on their channel, right? We had a few other people like that. They just break down on their channel and then they're crying and this and that. And so objectively, you would assume that, okay, we've never seen that person act that way. So now this must be shocking to watch. Wow, that's surprising. He never cried on his channel before. That's so surprising. Wow. But I observed that on YouTube, and I pride myself in actually really understanding people quite a bit. I can read people like open books, my friends. It's quite interesting. But anyways, so when I saw him cry, for me it was just, duh, had to come to this. You know what I mean? I hope this makes sense. Ultimately not surprising at all. So many things like that lately, just not really surprised. It's a duh moment. And even when I saw him cry, for me it felt like I saw him cry already. You know what I mean? It wasn't even cringy anymore because I already saw him as that person. If you would tell me about, I don't know, man. Probably today everybody can cry on YouTube. It's not out of character, that's all I'm saying. So when I saw him there crying, I just thought to myself, yeah, duh, logical conclusion of this whole charade over the past 2 or 3 years. It's just what it boiled down to. And it's definitely still time to get off YouTube, I would say. That's it. Bobby, what are you researching at the moment? Still Islam, I would say. Even though my real research, it was through the Quran, man. The rest, it just doesn't feel so real to me, if that makes sense. I think even from an Islamic standpoint, that does make sense. Because if you believe that the Quran is the word of God, then the rest is word of men, be it hadiths or be it tafsirs or whatnot. So nothing really is as gratifying to me as reading the Quran. Pink supremacy, you understand, right? Yeah, man. It's just okay. No shocker here. Hi Bobby, what do you think about Afghan-only country, follow Islam based on Sharia law, Quran and Sunnah more like the times of early Muslims, unlike other calling Muslims countries but have democracy laws? Yeah, absolutely. So if I understood that right here, for me, the Afghans, the Talibs, the Taliban, I think people there will be happy under their law. I would say that it's much closer to the real Islam as well. So they banned, I can't even say it here on YouTube, right? I have to censor myself. So they banned certain medical procedures within their lands, which is probably a good idea. And yeah, hence I would say they got rid of the occupier and now they're taking care of their people. So I think it's a good idea, honestly. I would be pro-Taliban. There you go, YouTube. Have you heard of the Islamic Golden Age? Yeah, especially in Spain. So, yeah, that was definitely a golden age. Thank you very much, Amir. $10. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate your content, Bobby. If you're interested in Quran studies, check out Numan Ali Khan and Baina Institute's content. Thank you very much. I got many recommendations about Numan Ali Khan, so I'm definitely going to check him out. And Baina Institute, I think this is the first time I hear it. I'm going to save both of this and then definitely have a look. Bobby, do you believe in the Day of Judgment and do you fear it? I believe in the Day of Judgment, yes. And do I fear it? I wouldn't say I fear it necessarily. I know that many Muslims will disagree because they say we have to have fear consistently, etc. I just believe in God's will, and if it's God's will to judge us all, then there is nothing to be afraid of. And that's just what it is. So yeah, I believe in the end of days. Sure. Hey Bobby, a fan from India. I have a question. So what do you think about those people who spread false claims about religion, Islam? What do I think about them? I don't think about them at all anymore. I used to watch, as I said, David Wood. I used to watch Apostate, whatever. And yeah, ultimately, I just see people that are, on one hand, of course, exploiting the content loop because it derives a lot of clicks. So therefore, they're making money with it. I mean, if you look at AP, he lives comfortably in America now, safe, and makes a lot of money from his YouTube channel. So that's one reason why they do it. Other than that, it's just a sign of our times, to be totally honest. People are so extremely ignorant and idiotic nowadays. They attack certain aspects of religion without really discussing theology or basing it on old sources, etc., etc. So it's just a circus, essentially. That's what I see, no matter what the slander is. And now really looking at it, it's quite interesting to see that from Muslims, for example, there is no real attack on Christianity in the sense of being disrespectful. Of course, they will debate and they will tell their opinions about Trinity, etc., etc., but they won't be disrespectful, which is very, very nice to see. And Quranic as well, of course, because in the Quran it says that you have to discuss with Christians, with the people of the book, with best manners. And I do see that most of the time, right? But from the so-called Christians that attack Islam, I would say that they're not even Christians. They're just a bunch of liberals or atheists. What do you think about ghosts? Like, are these creatures... Like, do those creatures exist? Yeah, for sure, 100%. I do believe they exist. As I said, I had many psychedelic experiences. I went to the Amazon jungle in Peru and in Colombia, and there I had ayahuasca experience with the shamans, the medicine men, and I definitely saw entities like that. So yeah, I believe in entities, deities, for sure. Hey Bobby, I didn't know that you had a live tonight. Yeah, it was spontaneous, more or less. I am 2.5 hours late. Later than usual. Will you do a reaction to Jin series? Yeah, God willing, man. Okay. Anyways, guys, it has been 2 hours already. Now I'm going to give you a fair warning. 5 more minutes. And then I'm tuning out. Okay, so 5 more minutes. If you want to donate, donate now. 5 more minutes and then I'm gone. It has been 2 hours and around here it's already 10:20. It's time for dinner and for a little bit of relaxation with Madame herself. And my kid is already asleep. Okay. Now I'm gonna try to answer as many chat questions as possible. Just 5 minutes left. Bobby, will you accept the invite of Sheikh Utman? Yeah, I accepted it. So here you go. Ooh. But I said that I want to gather some questions first. Because when I was on the Three Muslims podcast, they asked me about certain questions, but I just had maybe 2 or 3 questions. And that wasn't enough. So I want to make it more interactive and more interesting for the viewers as well. So I want to gather some questions. I want to have at least 20 questions or something on those lines. So that way we can have a nice back and forth. It would be much more entertaining for you guys. Okay. Okay, I didn't know that. That's cool. Thank you for clarifying. And Elton says Muslims don't fear the Day of Judgment. The opposite, we want it. Okay, fantastic. Because then we are at the same page. Because if it's God's will, then that's just what it is. So I don't fear it either. Cool. Bobby, do you think the biggest rival of theism is nihilism? Why wouldn't you choose nihilism? Why do you mean, why wouldn't you choose? Ah, we have another donation, gonna read out in a second. Yeah, I said it before here on this channel. I said there are only two options, either God or nihilism, ultimately. So even if we're not speaking about religion, thank you very much, both of you guys, Unmoon Play and Luka Nuic. I'm gonna read out in a second, guys. Thank you very much. Guys, the timer is on. I should put a little timer in here. So 5 more minutes to go. Thank you very much, guys. 5 more minutes to go. And then I'm tuning out. I really have to put in a little timer. That would be cool. Like a little gadget here. Anyways, thank you very much for the super chats. Where was I? Now I lost my train of thought. I was at the super chats. 1 second, let me scroll back. I got kicked out of my thought. Anyways, guys, if you remember what I was talking about, please let me know in the chat box. It's already late. I got interrupted by the super chats. Let me read them out then first. So we had Luka Nuic donated 17 HRK. Is that Croatian? Is that Krunas? Was it Kruna? I think so, right? Luka, Kruna, right? Bog. Pozdrav. Anyways, hvala lijepo. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And N Moon Play donated 100 MAD. What is MAD? Oh, wait a second, I want to look that up. To MAD. Ah, that's Moroccan. Moroccan dirham. Interesting. Really cool. Nice. That's the first time I received some Moroccan dirham. Thank you very much, Anoon Play, for the donation. Hey Bobby, thanks for your time, review ideas and great content. Thank you very much for the link. I'm gonna save that one as well. Appreciate it, and gonna react to it, God willing, soon. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. Exactly, nihilism. Yes, that's where I stopped. Yeah, I talked about it before, and there are just two options, essentially. As I displayed with a hierarchy, there is no other way other than God or nihilism. You will always end up in nihilism if you don't have an origin for absolute truth, absolute goodness, absolute beauty. You will always make up your own laws, and with that end up in nihilism. That's it. There is nothing else. So you ask me if nihilism is the biggest enemy of theism. Yes, 100% I agree, because there's literally nothing else. Atheism stems from nihilism, right? Those are all nihilistic movements. If you look into veganism, it's a nihilistic movement as well. The self-hatred, the glorification of animals. If you look into feminism, it's a nihilistic movement. All of it stems from nihilism and is in direct opposition to God. 100%, there is nothing else. There's only nihilism and God. That's it. Okay. Have you finished reading the Quran? Yes, of course, man. That was my first video that I made here. You can check out my video. I read the Quran as a Christian. I was shocked. So, yeah, the first Islamic video that I made, Quranic video, was about me reading the Quran. Sure. Do you pray every day? Yes, every day. Saad Khan says, I can't send money right now, but I'm sending loads of love and prayers, Bobby. Thank you very much, brother. I said it before. People that cannot donate, you just can't donate. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for liking the videos then. If you can't support monetarily, just thumbs up. If you can share, even better. But thank you very much for your prayers, bro. I appreciate it. Are the organ meats you sell halal? Absolutely, guys. So I even put in the beautiful halal logo for you guys. Let me show you. Okay, let me show you, and then I really have to tune out. Okay, let me play this. I hope you can see this. Say 1 second, like this. What is happening here? A porca miseria. What is happening? Like so. Okay, let me just adjust the player window here. Here we are. Okay. I'm gonna put it here so you can see it right beside me. Do you see it? It's a halal logo. And that's not fake. It's real. On every pack itself, you can see that it's halal. So save 10% with my code BOBBY10 on raw, organic, grass-fed and grass-finished, freeze-dried organ meats from Grassland Nutrition. Link in the description box. And absolutely... Okay, that's my last video. The quality was so bad with this damn camera. But well, anyways. So yeah, it's halal, all of it. It is organically sourced from Australia. It's a family company as well. It's awesome quality. I haven't seen any better quality than this. Prove me wrong. It's not only because I'm supporting this. The Liver King, or what was the other one? I forgot the name. Whatever. Nobody delivers better quality than Grasslands Nutrition. Prove me otherwise. 100% convinced. Yeah, you can check it out in my Telegram group as well. People tested it. And they said as well that they tried other products that are a bit cheaper. Nobody has a better quality. No chance. Absolutely no chance. And you have it in powder form, capsule form as well. And it is halal. So if you look into the products of Liver King, for example. Liver King. Those products, they have blood in them. So obviously not halal. Those products are all halal. And it's quite interesting because I actually just noticed that. Because I've been supporting those guys here for, oh man, 3 years now or so. 3 years I've been promoting those products. And just now I was eating the beef heart and I just saw the pack and realized, oh wow, it's halal. And then I reached out to them again, made sure 100% they're all halal, all organically sourced. So yeah, you can definitely buy those products and eat halal. By the way, talking about halal, yesterday we went to Marseille and we went to a Brazilian rodizio, which is all you can eat meat, and that shop was halal as well. Very, very interesting to see. In Marseille, a lot of Arabs, so therefore they just made the whole Brazilian barbecue halal. Very cool, because even the bacon there was from Turkey, I believe. Turkey bacon. Very nice. Very nice. I appreciate that because I don't eat pork either. So for me, quite fantastic. Halal Brazilian all-you-can-eat meat. Delicious. Anyways, long story short, yeah, the products are all halal. They don't ship to Sweden. You sure? Because they guaranteed me that they're gonna ship worldwide. And Sweden should be on the list, man. That's strange. I'm gonna ask them about it. Bobby, you're doing an incredible, great job. You're doing very interesting stuff. We all dig you, bro. King. Thank you very much, brother. Only God is great, but I'm doing my best. Bobby, I watch all your LGBTQ videos. It's relieving to see people don't just accept the craziness. Yeah, unfortunately, this month I cannot do any videos of that kind because otherwise YouTube told me basically they're gonna delete my channel. So there you go. You contact them yourself? That's so strange. Why not Sweden, man? They even sent me a pack here to France. Strange. Very strange. I'm gonna talk to them, nevertheless. Okay, anyways, guys, now I stayed back 10 minutes. A little bit of extra time. I'm gonna tune out now. It has been long enough as it is. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for supporting, of course. Thank you very much for liking the stream. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much for checking out the products in the description box, etc., etc. I even have new merch. You can check it out. Bobby's Perspective shirts as well, if you want to support that way. Thank you very much, everybody, for your ongoing support. Next week, God willing, we will upload every single day. Alright, but this is it for today. Here have the music. A little outro music here. As always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.